So you and Mom are coming up on your 10-year wedding anniversary. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thinking back to 10 years ago, how did you feel about becoming a step-parent? Were you nervous?
I was nervous. Yeah, it was a new world, and particularly, I didn't know how I would be received by you and your sister, and I had been always parent to boys, so
That's right.
yeah, all kind of nerves, and and part of it also was, Catherine was so little that it was a little different, but you were a teenager, and you had a set of memories and a life and a love with your dad before he died way too early. I wondered, if particularly if you would be resistant.
I wasn't.
You
I
were
think
not.
that it was fairly easy to blend our families. It was fun at first, I thought. How do you feel? I know, were you apprehensive about blending and having two boys and then all of a sudden having two girls in the mix?
I was, yeah, because I think I sort of knew how to parent boys to the extent that anybody knows how to parent. And you don't want to just sort of say all the predictable, hard to defend things about girls always X, boys always B, because that's not really true. But there are some differences.
Right.
And I had to learn how to deal with that and say, oh, okay, this is the way parenting a girl gets through this situation as opposed to,
Like learning a new way to parent almost.
yeah, and emotionally.
You know, we are about to become parents for the first time. If you could look back on your life at this moment, at 28, and about to become a parent for the first time, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh, that's easy. I would try to be at work a little less and at home a little more, basically.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, I look back now and think that there's a window of time where you are your child's hero, you know? I think with mothers it might last longer, I'm not sure, but there's a window of time when the kid wants to be with you more than they want anything else in the world, and that time passes. I remember with each of my children that you reach a point, really in elementary school, where their friends become increasingly important and you become increasingly functionary. And then later on, it's more so and more so, and then they have their own families. So when there's that window of time that the children want to be with me, I would want to give more time to each of you.
Well, what's the most fun thing about being a parent or a step parent?
About being a step parent, with the two of you, your personalities are so different that it's a whole different set of stuff. You and I share a number of interests, including faith and theology and things like that. You went to seminary for a while and you're a professional church worker. And we've got this agenda that we can explore together that's really neat. And Catherine she's just finishing high school.
Right.
She doesn't know what her life's
10
gonna
years
be.
younger than me too, yeah.
Yeah. So for watching her has been observing somebody and hoping I can minimally influence it the right way, who is trying to figure out what her priorities are and what her desires are and who she wants to be.
Yeah.
It's two different, the 10-year gap, made it very different.
Well, speaking of our shared interests, that is something that I've valued a lot over the past 10 years. Much of me going to seminary had to do with you and having these great conversations with you, and being able to share that has been really great.
Means a lot to me.
Yeah. Is sharing your faith, it's been important to you, right, with your kids?
Yeah, it's easier with a church.
Yeah.
To be honest, to share faith is, the biblical word is witness. And to do it in this setting, people come in here with a set of ideas about who I am. And who I am is preacher and ordained and robe and all the stuff that they project on that role. But share my faith with you is different because you know who I actually am as a human being.
Right.
The good, the bad, the warts and all. And so, I can't get all pious with you. but I can at least, hopefully over the course of time, you realize what I believe and what my values are, and I hope that makes a difference. But yeah, I can't come off as all holy.
We know the truth. No,
You
I'm
know
just
the
kidding.
truth. Let me ask you something. When I married your mother, you were a teenager, and your mom certainly never had planned on being a minister's wife. But I think Paige is wonderful at that. But is there anything about spending your life in a clergy family that's different, challenging, you didn't expect, you wouldn't have signed up for?
Well, overall, it's been great. It is different. You know, especially when we lived in a smaller town, you were the senior minister of a pretty large church,
Yeah.
and everybody knew you. So going out as a family, we always were aware that there was always going to be somebody who knew you. So watching you kind of navigate crowds has been really interesting. And also, you know, I grew up going to church, but it's a lot different seeing it from this angle.
Did that help being involved in church as part of our family when you went to work in a church? Did it give you an advantage?
Absolutely. I think that every day I'm able to speak with my boss, the senior minister, and say, listen, I get it. You know, we deal with this all the time. Or, you know, I totally understand where you're coming from because Michael does this at Marble, blah, blah, blah. So it's been really great. And also it's a very special thing to be a part of, you know, to be considered your daughter. I mean, people, they're interested in us, you know, they treat us like family and they want us to be happy and succeed, and they come up and they speak with us and hug us, and you know, it's been great.
People here, they're so nurturing and affirming, and
Yeah.
and I like to watch that, the way they deal with your mom, with you, with Catherine, with either one of the boys when they're here, with Andy.
Yeah. Especially moving here as a family, I think coming to Marble Collegiate was just this special thing for our family. I mean, they really, you know, every day I sit in here on Sunday, I feel home, and that's a great feeling.